Hello, it's Trisha at Club Scrap with another great project for you today made with Club Scrap's Orchard Club Stamp Kit. So this little folio, the green portion of it is just one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. And then also in that Orchard kit you'll receive a set of these denim covered buttons, and as well as the jute fiber that I used to make this adorable button closure, and the decorative paper as well. When you lift the folio, you'll see that it holds a set of greeting cards. In fact, here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, and it also is perfectly sized to house the envelopes for these cards as well, which are A2 envelopes. Now if I pull the cards out, you will notice that there is a gusseted pocket that holds the cards in place from the bottom, and then from the top edge there is a flap that comes around, and so when you add the cards to the folio and seal the pocket, they're in there to stay and won't be flying out. And I'd like to show you how I made this folio, so let's get started. So get out your score pal, and you're going to need the 8.5 by 11 orange and the green planes that came in your Orchard Club Stamp Kit, and we'll be scoring vertically at 2 and 6.5 inches. Then rotate the piece so it's horizontal, and I'll have you score at 4 1/4 and 5. That's it. That's all the scoring you need to do. The other thing you'll also have to have is a sheet from this will be prepared during the trimming phase. This is a brown 4.5 by 5.5 inch piece of paper scored at both 1 and 1 3/4. So that will become the flap of your folio. The next thing you will need is one of our awesome acrylic grid rulers. I'm using the 3x14 version, but we also have a 2x8 version that will work. So what I need to accomplish here is a 45-degree angle coming out from where every score line intersects. So here I have an intersecting score line. I need a 45-degree angle happening right here. Now I found the easiest way to do that is to use that 45-degree angle pre-marked on the clear ruler. So simply take the corner of the ruler where you have that 45-degree grid, line it up with the score line. So now it's vertically and accurately positioned here on the score, and this right here is a naturally occurring 45-degree angle, and I'll simply take the tip of my bone folder and just bring it underneath that score, underneath the ruler's edge to form my fold. Then I'll need to do it from the top edge as well, so just bring the ruler around, line up the printed 45-degree angle with the score line that occurred earlier, and use the tip of your bone folder to make the crease. All right, I'll just solidify that a little bit. Then I'm just going to flip the whole thing over and do the same on the other side. I find that it's just easier to work with my dominant hand doing the folding, so to create that I just rotate the paper instead of rotating my ruler. Here's the third angle, flip the ruler around and create the fourth angle. Okay, now I will fold on the other score lines that I made earlier. And then what will happen is the functionality occurs when that comes up, and here we make that triangular fold. And now I've turned my first corner. Let's just flip it, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just get these creases made. There we go. You can see the magic of that, and there you can see the box forming. Take the scored piece, again it's 4.5 by 5.5 scored at 1 and 1 3/4. I will fold along those score lines, and to make assembly just slightly easier, I learned this, is I'm going to make a small little miter here on the 1-inch edge going to the first score line. So that makes a little bit of a tab. Using my favorite material here, which is my Club Scrap bookbinding glue in a needle tip applicator, and the reason I like it for this project is that it gives me a little bit of time to move this flap around in case I don't have it positioned exactly where I want it. Now take your folio. This is the wider side. You have a narrow and a wide, and I'm going to place my flap so that the first score line matches up with this edge, and I just glued it in place. And again, because it wasn't a dry adhesive, I was able to wiggle it around and move it a little bit. Next, I will apply adhesive just to these areas, starting at the angled fold all the way to the perimeter here. I can apply adhesive to that same area on the opposite end, and this is the shorter area. And I'll do the same on the other side. Notice I just always rotate my paper to make it so it's comfortable for me. Again, most importantly, you want to just ensure that there is no adhesive within the area that's going to be moving. And all you do is just glue the sides down. Now when I pick up the folio to use it, this opens and the front comes down here, and to finish it off I rounded the corners, added some decorative paper, and I sewed on the button. So let's take another look at the finished folio. You can see the cute little strip of pumpkin paper that was came from one of the panels of our quad print, also included in the club stamp kit. And then the denim buttons were sewn on with this piece of waxed linen thread from my stash. Here you can see where that was tied on the front and the inside of the bottom level. And then just fill your folio with cards and envelopes and give it to someone you love, if you can part with it. Let's take a quick peek at the cards on the inside that we made with our club stamp kit. Such fun, elegant cards, great for this time of year. Here we have additional cards. I love how our white pigment ink looks on that dark brown smooth paper. And then finally we're finishing with a set of bridge cards. Now when you receive the card in an envelope it looks like that, but when the recipient opens it and bends it on the score line, then it sits vertically, or it will stand up vertically on the table. A little bit of dimension here with the stamped apple basket, and I made a batch of 4 of those. So from just one club stamp kit, you have the ability to make 11 cards and 2 adorable folios. Give it a try.